everybody, welcome to part 2 of my guide on how to make ISK station trading in Eve. If you haven't watched part 1, you should probably do so before watching part 2. Part 1 will cover the basics of actually getting set up to station trade, including what skills you should train and where you should set up your base. In this video I'm going to cover picking items and making your orders and managing your orders so that you're always on top. So let's get started. So when you're picking an item in that you want to station trade, there aren't many tricks to actually finding items, but so you can just really go through the various menus over here and kind of try items until you find something that meet the criteria that we're looking for. I've already picked out a good item here. It's the 200mm Light Scout autocannon, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about why this might be a good item to trade. So we can see if we sort the prices so that the highest buy order and lowest sell order are here. We can see why this might be a good item to trade. We can see that the highest buy order, keep in mind only buy orders with green bars on them will be accepting items from your station. Sometimes you'll see buy orders that are gray, like these up here. Those will be in the same region, but will cover an area that does not include the station you're in, so you don't have to worry about those because they are not your competition. So here we can see the highest buy order at the moment is about 400,000 ISK per unit, and the lowest sell order in our same station, because we're station trading, is 488,000 ISK. So what that means is, potentially I can buy a Light Scout autocannon for 400,000 ISK and then turn around and sell it for 480,000 ISK. Almost 490,000 ISK. That's a profit of about 20% per item, which is not insignificant. But before we start trading, we want to take a look at the price history for the last 3 months. So this might look a little confusing the first time you see it, but it's really not all that bad once it's explained to you. You have the key up here, so if you forget, you can kind of keep track of what is what, really. So this red line right here, this zigzagging red line, is the average price over 5 days. So it's a lot more volatile than the green line, which is the average price over 20 days. So the green line is basically a bunch of changes made up by the red line. If you see a lot of fluctuation in the red line but not much in the green line, that means that the item holds a pretty steady price in the long run, but that fluctuates in the short run. You can see with this item, it goes up and down a little bit, but it's mostly pretty stable. We can see there was a weird spike over here caused by some high orders, but it's not enough of a big deal for us to worry about it. Now, each one of these yellow dots represents the median price for the day, and that fun yellow line behind each of the dots represents the range of the orders between buy orders and sell orders. So what you want is a very long yellow line, because that means there is a big gap between buy and sell orders, which is more profit for you. The Donkian channel is basically a silhouette of the yellow lines in a way, and so a wider channel means a bigger disparity between buy and sell orders, means more profit for you. So far this item's looking pretty good, because this is a pretty wide margin over here. We can see it's about a quarter of the width of the graph up to here. So we can see it's about between 400 and 500,000 ISK, which is a pretty good profit considering it's a 400,000 ISK item. Now down here, these I guess lime green bars down here represent how much volume of this item moves through the market every day. So we can see, for the most part, it's somewhere between 100 and 200 units per day, which is not bad. If you want a quick and dirty calculation of how much profit you can make, is about the percentage difference between here comes to about 20%. Multiplying the buy price of an item times the volume moved times your percentage. So in this case it would be about 400,000 ISK times 100 units moved per day times 20%, so 0.2, will give you the profit that can be expected to be made by the item every day. However, to make that profit, you'd have to be you'd have to have the top order at all times, so you probably aren't going to make that much. In general, I take about a quarter to a half of that profit, and that seems to be a pretty accurate representation of how much I can make every day. So now that we've decided this is a good item, what are we going to do with it? So generally when I make a buy order, I make my order for about the daily expected volume that will move through the market. So we can see it's about 150 over here. So we'll go back to market data and hit place buy order. I want my bid price to be slightly above this one. So that's 400,077 ISK and 8 cents. So I am 0.1 ISK above this order, which means my order will be the top buy order. So if anyone just right click and sells the item to the highest buy order, it'll go to me. My quantity, I want 150 because that is how many I can expect to move per day. Duration, 3 months. And set your range to station and hit remember settings so that this doesn't keep changing. The order is going to be for 60 million ISK. In general, I won't make an order above 200 or 300 million ISK. So this is within my range, so I'm going to hit buy. And this will come up the first time you make an order. In general, I just hit do not ask me again. And it's just the broker's fee that you have to pay to make the order. And broker's fees get taken as soon as you make the order, and then the transaction tax gets taken once the transaction actually takes place. And you can lower your broker's fees by training the broker relation skill, which I went over in my first video. So we'll hit yes. And now you can see I've made my order. A handy thing to do is go into your settings here and hit mark my orders. And that way when you go back here, you can see my order has a blue bar on it. So this makes it easier because when you find an item, you should be adding it to your quick bar by hitting right click and then add to quick bar. So then if you need to find what items you have to update, you can just scroll through your quick bar and look for items where this blue bar is not the top bar. If there are green bars above the blue bar, that means your order is not the top order and you need to change it. Another easy way to keep track of your orders is by hitting your wallet and going to the orders tab, and you can see all of your buy orders over here. By double clicking on an item, it'll take you to the order. So you can either go through your quick bar if you add all the items to your quick bar, or if it's something you don't intend on trading very often, you can just place the order and not add it to your quick bar, and then go through your buy orders over here just by double clicking on the item. So say you've been undercut, what do? So you right click on your order here and hit modify order, and all you have to do is increase your order so that it's 0.01 ISK above the highest order. So say someone makes an order for 400,077.09 ISK, I'm going to add 0.2 ISK to mine so that I'm 0.1 above him. And so you can see the total change is 3 ISK. That's because I'm adding 0.2 ISK 150 times. And the broker's fee is 100 ISK. It's always going to be 100 ISK when you're changing an order. It's much cheaper to modify an order than it is to make a new one. Because if you remember, I paid something like 400,000 ISK to set up or 480,000 ISK to set up my buy order for 150 autocannons. It's only 100 ISK to change it. So then I'll hit OK. You can only modify an order once every 5 minutes. So station camping can sometimes be a little tedious because you have to sit there and wait between every modification you make to your order. But so if your order is continuously the top order, by keeping it up here, every autocannon that is sold to the highest buy order will go directly to me. And my order is for 150 autocannons, so I can expect to get maybe 50 to 100 of those every day by keeping my order at the top and having a reasonable life. You can see I just bought 3 of them there, and the order just updated. It's great because this is something you can do and then switch to another character and play Eve, or maybe even go outside. So now that I've got my autocannons, I can go and sell them. So I'll go to my item hanger over here and right click sell this type. If you hit the magnifying glass over here, it'll bring your orders to the front, and then you want to go to advanced, because if you do not go to advanced and you just hit sell, you'll be selling to the highest buy order, which is to yourself, and you'll get an error. So your ask price, same same strategy, you want to go 0.1 ISK under the next person. So we want ours to be 488,699.91 ISK. Duration, 3 months. Changing the duration does not change the fees. So it's really kind of silly to make a 1-day order when your order could be for 3 months for the same price. And then tick remember settings and hit sell. So now you can see I have the blue bar that is, you want to always have the blue bar that is closest to the top in both of these within the station. Granted, for the buy orders, if there is a buy order 1 or 2 jumps over that still includes your station, you want to stay above it. So like I said, green bars down here, but up here, you're only competing with people in your same station because the majority of people will be willing to pay a few more ISK to not have to go a couple jumps. Like if I was fitting a ship up in a more, I'd rather pay 490,000 ISK than pay 390,000 ISK and have to go 2 jumps over to get my items. And so now we've made our orders and we've gone over how to make sure that they're always the top orders. Just make sure you do that a few times a day. Again, depending on what trade hub you choose, might differ how many times a day you have to check up on your orders to make sure that you are on top. And do this for as many items as you feel comfortable. I generally do between 40 and 50 items at once, and you can rake in huge amounts of money every day just by updating your orders a couple times. So in my next video, I'm going to cover various programs you can use in conjunction with station trading to make sure that it is as easy and as smooth as possible. So look forward to that, and in the meantime, thanks for watching.